Hello Internet, it's Hans from Carlist.my. I'm with my friend Bakri here from Roda Pusing, and we just spent a lot of many hours inside this car driving from KL to Penang to find out what is so popular about the BRV and why are there so many of them on our road right now.
Engine 1.5, same transmission as the CT also.
Almost the same, similar. It has been retuned to accommodate a 7-seater inside here.
And Honda calls it a 7-seater crossover SUV.
Whatever that means. What is a crossover?
I don't know, but at least it has the ground clearance lah, the SUV part.
Yeah, ignore the bits about the crossover, let's use simple terms to describe it. Inside, as we have mentioned, there are 7 seats. So it competes with our Toyota Avanza, your recently launched Toyota Sienta, and the aging Nissan Grand Livina. But on the outside, it has a bit of an SUV looks to it. There's actually a 200mm ground clearance here, which is actually higher than a CRV and a HRV. So both the CRV and HRV has only 170mm ground clearance. This has 200.
So with this, you can actually climb curbs.
Why would you want to do that?
Park in Bangsa.
Okay, I think camera, let's stop there.
Okay, to find out more what we think about how this thing drives, let's go inside.
Hello everybody, it's Hans from Carlist again. My driving partner for the day is Bakri from Roda Pusing, and we have spent about more than 400 kilometers in this car already. In the Honda BRV, spent lots of quality time together.
Yeah. Now we're on the way back to KL from Penang.
Yeah.
We've covered highways, trunk roads, city roads like in Penang town.
Yeah.
And I am surprised by how good this thing feels actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we actually even made it all the way to Penang with 1 tank of fuel, because we were supposed to stop over and refuel in Ipoh.
Yes.
But things got mixed up a little bit,
yes,
and we just shot past and went all the way straight to Penang, and upon arrival we realized that shit, we were running on reserve.
So engine wise, it's proven, we like it. It's the driving, the chassis, quite good for something that is adopted from something a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Okay road noise at 110, and even wind noise, but we noticed that if you pass the 110, it starts to get a bit loud.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
So now you're at 110 and the revs is just ticking slightly above 2000 RPM.
Yeah.
Between 110 to 130, it's a very relaxed drive, very comfortable, very quiet ride. In fact, we were actually quite surprised that it's even more, it rides in certain conditions, it actually rides even better than the Honda City.
Yes, in town, because on the highway, the Honda City is very, it's okay, it's very good actually.
Yeah.
But when you get into town like KL with the rough roads, right, you tend to feel the bumps, the hit quite hard.
Yeah.
But this one, it soaks quite good. At the same time, it's still quite stable on the highway. Usually there's a give and take, but this one seems to be quite balanced.
It tracks quite well. We also spoke to the large project leader, basically the chief engineer responsible, executive chief engineer responsible for the project, Mr. Ari Sakasa. He also told us that ride and handling is a big focus for this car, because it's designed for rougher road conditions in Indonesia. But it is important to know that this is not a low spec ASEAN region only car. Is designed to meet all the international regulations around the world. If it's not so in other countries, the only reason is because there's no demand for such type of vehicle over there.
Plus they only have the fee.
Yeah. So yeah, it's designed to cope not only with rough roads but also with long stretches of highway that we see in Malaysia. And the chief engineer has spent a lot of time in Thailand and in Malaysia to understand how Malaysians use their car. He's very well aware of our culture, of our balik kampung culture and all that, and our unofficial speed limits. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Malaysians drive very fast, very long distance, and at a very long
and we brake very hard and we accelerate very hard, which puts a lot of stress on the transmissions and all that. So the car is designed to cope with all this.
Interior wise, it's kind of roomy. Even on the third row, I can fit. Hans, you sat a long time.
Yeah, from Ipoh all the way to Penang, I was actually riding in the third row, right behind, with the rear aircon blower set at only around fan speed 2. It's comfortable enough, it's cool enough. Cars like the Prodeo Alza and all that is more like a 5+2 seater. The third row seat isn't really meant for adults and you can't go long journey in it. I sat there for more than 100 kilometers, more than an hour. I arrived quite comfortably.
And even though when you use this third row, there's not much luggage room. Apparently the roof rails can take about 30 kilos.
Yeah.
So maybe a 2-lay box can fit there and then you can add more stuff.
Yeah, and we also did that so-called our local version of Moose test, emergency avoidance braking challenge, where we actually put the VSA to the test. You can see a video of it later. What we did was we drive straight 70 kilometers per hour. We do an abrupt emergency lane change to simulate the kind of situations where a driver will do when you avoid an object at high speed. And the VSA actually didn't even kick in as well. The mechanical grip of this car is so strong and so good. If you look at the video of the emergency lane, how the emergency lane change was simulated, you will notice that the car actually pitches about quite hard. The front dips quite a bit under hard braking, and the rear lifts and pivots around the front axle just enough. So all this is part of it's intentional. It's a characteristic of a 7-seater, and the VSA is tuned to allow the rear to swing just at the right amount to keep the car agile while remaining under control at the same time.
Being an ASEAN development, though it's for global, they say it's a global standard. Lots of part sharings. You can see the steerings from the Jazz, the engine, the transmission.
Yeah, but the dashboard is very similar to the Jazz.
Yeah, but I can see there's more hard plastics here.
Yeah.
Compared to its competitor, maybe the Sienta will have a bit more. Will feel a bit more luxury.
Yeah.
Can I call it luxury? But the Sienta is what you're paying for, lah kan?
Correct. The Sienta has a little bit more funky two-tone interior and all. The Sienta offers a very practical sliding door. It allows for easier access. This uses a conventional swing door, but sliding doors are very expensive to produce, and that explains why you are paying a bit more premium for the Sienta.
Plus, it's a powered sliding door.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not saying the quality is the Sienta is better. It's just slightly. You can feel with the soft touch, the colors, the design, but it's okay in this car. You won't go in it, except for the head unit. There's a lot of glare. I wish they had used the same one in the Jazz, I think. Yeah. The Aircon Controls, though it's manual, it looks good, it feels good, the buttons, I like it. There's a volume control, audio control on the steering wheel. I do wish they had included an auto cruise function, because this thing on the highway, it feels good. So I can see a lot of people will be using it as a balik kampung vehicle anyway.
So speaking of the aircon, of the volume control, that to me is my single biggest gripe in this car. It's not a big deal. Everything else about the car works very well for me, except for the head unit, the infotainment system. It really annoys the hell out of me. You don't have a physical knob to control the volume. That is fine. The City and Jazz doesn't have it, but their so-called the soft key is outside the screen, and it allows both the passenger and the driver can reach for it easily. In order for you to adjust the volume, you have to go back to the home screen of the info, or to go back to the home screen before you can adjust the volume. So what is supposed to be a quick one-step process becomes a two-step process. That's just not very good. And there's also small gripe. In most cars, between the sun visors, you have a small, you can't see it on camera, between the sun visors there is a blackout region, the area above the rear view mirror. It's supposed to block out the sun. This doesn't have it. So if you are driving in the direction of the setting sun, it's a long distance, it can get a bit irritating.
Lastly, the looks. Between this and the Jazz, people might ask, hey, this Jazz or the City? I would go for this. If you can get over the looks on the outside, because you have to remember that this is what Honda calls what man first machine.
Man maximum machine minimum.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have lots of room, lots of windows to make it feel spacious, lots of headroom here. So on the outside, it looks good on certain angles, but in most of the time, especially from the back, this looks a bit awkward. The BRV.
Yeah.
Whereas with the new City, wow, that's hot actually.
Yeah.
So it depends on you in the end. I would go for practicality. This one with the folding seats and everything, it's a lot more. As an urban user,
Yeah.
this is it.
I mean, I can live if I have to choose just one car to have for my family. I can live with this. It does everything that I need it to do. It offers more utility than the Honda City or even the Honda Jazz. Price about the same, but in terms of maintenance cost, ownership, and everything, it's sharing the same powertrain, the same powertrain. So there's not much additional cost to it.
Or maybe if Honda can do, apart from changing the head unit, is add more SUV chargers.
Yeah.
USB.
The City has chargers. This just has a USB charger at the front, at the lower center stack. This only you have to plug it directly and into the infotainment unit.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have a lot of dangling wires dangling around. And we wish that there's an armrest here as well, which is a pity because this car is actually a very comfortable long distance cruiser. But there's just no armrest around here. So yeah.
And okay, seats wise, this variant comes with leather. The other one is fabric, but there's a height adjustment. So though the window is hard, some drivers might be a bit shorter than me, they can adjust the seat higher, which is a big help.
Yeah, that's about it. For more in-depth review, go on to Carlist.my. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye bye.